right. I'm trying to find a place to do this where I can not bug anybody and maybe get a signal. That would be beneficial, huh? So I can not bug anybody and maybe get a signal. That would be beneficial, huh? East Coast late tomorrow. Um, all right, so it looks pretty chill. All right, I think I found a place. So good morning, good morning. If we haven't met before, my name is Beth, Destination Decluttered. Here to help you with your clutter, even when I am off the grid. Let's see if that opens. Help you with your clutter, even when I am off the grid. Let's see if that opens. Oh, there we go. Yeah. All right, this is what I'm talking about. As long as I don't lock myself out, which I don't think I will. So yes, okay. We got it rocking. I got some palm trees behind me. And let's do this. It's a Sunday morning, right? It is 8 a.m. And let's do this. It's a Sunday morning, right? Yay. Okay, it says a lot. Yay. Okay, it says lost connection. Yay. Okay, it says lost connection. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, right now that I'm stable and I'm stuck where I am, just give me, if you can, oops, hold on. Oh, this is real life, people. This is not AI generated. AI doesn't have all these wires and stuff. Oh my God, I made it worse. Yeah, so here, hold on. Apologies. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, there we go. A little bit more stable. If you can hear me, just give me like a thumbs up. You don't even have to, just give me a little something in the comments, because since I don't know if I can hear you, if you can hear me. So let me know if you, okay, Kit Kat, I appreciate it. Thank you. Lorianne, rockin'. Ruthie and Olive and Candace, nice to see you all. So good morning. Okay, thank you. It is early in the morning here with people bumping around. And I just thought for the next hour or so, maybe, if you need a little encouragement, a little like boost of, good, you got this ness, I'm here for you, okay? If we haven't met before, I know it's kind of unexpected. I do these TikTok lives scheduled wise, and the schedule's on my TikTok page. But this morning, I thought, why the heck not? I have something to do at around 9:30. I've got an appointment. But I thought I would show up for you. So if we haven't met before, my name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach, and my coaching is called Destination Declutter. Now, destination, maybe it's because I like to travel. Ooh, look at those palm trees in the background. Damn, I might even sit here so I can see them. How's that? Okay. Oh, look at me. I feel like I'm somewhere glamorous. But yeah, I'm here to help you with your clutter and your stuff. I know how heavy and weighed down you can get when you're looking around being like, I don't even know where to start. I can help you with that. Are you feeling overwhelmed? I can help you with that too. I love this. So Ms. Lopez 67 says, well, you motivated me so much this week. I cleaned so much yesterday and going to continue today. Awesome. Alrighty. CNC. Whoa. Oh my gosh, this is totally live. Noah, I am in Long Beach, you nosy Parker. Yes, I am. I'm here for work. But my East Coast bod is here, and so I thought I would show up in the morning. Sandy B, both your husband and you save stuff. My husband and I save stuff too. I know what it's like. Kit Kat, yeah, if you were looking at my previous videos, I've got plenty of them. It's interesting. I will share this with you all. I have been for the last 4 or 5 days, I'm in the midst of I call it decluttering, that's my word, so that's what comes first, but an organizing and productivity conference. And we were talking about monetizing certain things, and I love the fact that I have done these TikTok lives, and they get recorded, and then I upload them to the Destination Decluttered YouTube channel. Now, I do that because I know that paid coaching, which is the thing that's really my business, isn't for everyone, for a variety of reasons. But I didn't get into the coaching only to make money. I got into the coaching to help people so that even if you can't work it out to have me be your one-on-one paid coach, I still know I'm helping you by the fact that I can answer your questions on these TikTok lives. What are you struggling with? And I will say this, and I say this to make you feel like you are not alone in this, you guys. I am telling you, you are not the only one struggling with what you're struggling with. So don't feel like you're all alone, okay? Yeah, do not feel like you're all alone in this. We live in a society that tells you to go out and buy things to make you feel better. And maybe the buying, sometimes there's that dopamine hit, like, oh my gosh, this is so great, it's going to make my life different. And sometimes even by the time you get home, you're like, oh, crap, now what do I do with it? But then you spent money on it, so you feel bad because you spent money on it, even though you don't know it is a thing. And then you say, okay, well, I guess I'll hang on to it. But then your house, your home, your life becomes weighed down with stuff. Hello, Catherine. Nice to see you. Erin, the conference is rocking. It is so good. I will say this, I will share with you all. I realized how my, what do I want to say? My social stamina is getting a workout. I am not used to. I coach one-on-one from my home. I'm usually surrounded by my husband and my small group of friends. And even though I show up and do these TikTok lives, this is just a smidge about me, and then I'll get to you. I am pretty much an introvert. I enjoy time by myself. Being in a social situation drains my battery, drains my gas tank. And then I need to step away and do some things to fill it up. And there are certain times of the day that I know that my energy wanes and I try not to do things. And this is what I help my clients with too, is finding out what motivates you, what doesn't motivate you. When do you have energy, when you don't have energy? And working with how you are wired as opposed to trying to fight against it to put somebody else's structure that works for them onto you. Okay? Yeah, Catherine is saying a little extra people-y, huh? OMG. Yes, and I've met some really lovely people here, but the quantity of people, the energy, it can get overwhelming. So that's why I'm out here in the morning finding a place to help you, okay? So yes, so Sandy is saying baby steps. Sandy, you're right. Everything is about baby steps. Even me getting ready to do this TikTok live this morning, I woke up, I decided to do it. I had a goal in mind, I had a destination. So what are the things I need to do before I am ready? And I like to start at the top of the hour. It's just kind of how it makes me feel kind of organized and keeps me track of time. Baby steps to do anything you want to do. But one of the really helpful things I will share with you all is having even just a really small goal, a small destination. It's not like I want to travel the world. It's like I want to go from here to Los Angeles. It's like I want to go from here to Austin, Texas. It's like I want to go from here to, I don't know, see the Queen Mary. Okay? So no matter what, practice making a little destination and getting to it. Because you realize it's like a map. You have a point, here you are in point A. You've got point B. How do you get between the two? Baby steps. Now, they're not necessarily all linear. Sometimes you get, distracted and stuff. But eyes on the prize helps you focus and cut out the stuff that doesn't matter. Okay? Yeah, okay, Sandy B. Sandy B is saying, we have all of our parents and both of my grandparents' stuff in our basement. It's time. It's time. When you feel like it's time for you to deal with the stuff that you've been avoiding, and frankly, probably the generations before you kind of avoided dealing with it, that feeling of it's time is going to help you, because this is all about you. Now, I've met some of you. I haven't met the vast majority of you because I do my one-on-one coaching via Zoom. However, when it's the right time for you, the help appears. I've been surrounded all week with wonderful people that go into people's homes and do the decluttering. Now, that's not what I do, because what I found is, and I think some people will attest, it's not about the stuff. The stuff is a byproduct of what's going on up here and in here. And that's where I like to hang out, because if you don't clue into this, somebody can come into your house and they can set you up with systems, and it might work for a while, but then it might not. Okay? Yeah, Mary is saying, I did that recently. I bought 5 different day timers to realize I only need one. Now, that's sometimes what we all do. You see what works. Every time you do something that doesn't work out, I want you to think of this. What did I learn from it? So that next time I go to buy a timer or a planner or a something, I know better. Maybe it's just buying another size. Maybe it's I don't like that fabric. Maybe I thought that was going to work and it didn't. Maybe I don't need it at all. Maybe I have something that already does the job. Ask yourself some questions, learn from these things in here and in here, so you do something slightly different the next time. Not hugely different. Huge change comes from a whole bunch of little changes. Awesome 14 Sauce says, hey Beth, hey. I just decluttered one jumbo trash bag, taking a quick break and then getting back into it. Good. I am so glad to hear that you're taking a break, because it's so funny. Usually when I do these TikTok lives, and if you see the recordings on YouTube, you'll see that most of them come from me in my office at home, and I've got this little kind of road trip, graphic on the wall behind me. I basically I printed it and cut it out and laminated it and put it up with little like rolls of tape. But the point is valid, is thinking of your life like a road trip. If you're on a road trip, you do something, you drive for a while, but then it's important for the long haul to get out and stretch, to take a break and enjoy yourself, to do some stretching, get some lungs. Maybe you empty one, and you empty the liquid tank and you fill up the food tank. You get your body moving. But then you get back in the car and you continue on your journey, and when you get back in the car where you're going, because you have a destination, and you have a destination you're excited to get to. That's, I think, the thing that we often forget is, why am I even doing this decluttering? Why? Why? And you might be saying to yourself, why the hell am I doing this? Why did I even start? What the heck am I doing here? If you spend just a smidge of time creating a destination and getting excited about it, that's going to remind you when you say, whoa, my God, what did I get myself into? You're going to say, you know why I'm doing this? I'm doing it for me. I want my life to feel better, basically. I want my life to be easier because I want to be able to find my stuff. I want to spend the minimum amount of time searching for stuff and maintaining the stuff in my home, and I want to go out in the world and do the things that bring me joy. That's why I do my coaching the way I do my coaching, is to help you, to remind you even to do that. Don't be stuck in your house folding sheets all day because you have too many sheets. Have a right amount of sheets, fold them, and then get out and have some fun. Life, she's short. Okay, let me help you with some of this. So I see some things I'm going to do. Yes, it can be overwhelming. Sandy B, the #1 with a bullet, top of the charts, always the #1 song here on Destination Decluttered Top 40, is going to be being overwhelmed. Overwhelm, this is how I frame it. And if there's any other way that people feel like they can help, please feel free in the comments. But this is really what has helped me. I think of overwhelm as a physical and neurological, a bodily reaction to the concept of too much. Okay? Too much. You're looking at it like I'm outside right now, but I'm looking at this giant building and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so much. How am I ever going to declutter all of these rooms? Too much. I'm looking up, I'm being overwhelmed, and it's shutting me down. I'm looking up and it shuts me down. I want you to think of those words though. Overwhelm is over your head. I'm in over my head. I'm drowning. I'm looking up. I love to play with the opposites. The opposites. So to me, when I think of overwhelm, I say, wait a minute, even the word overwhelm has the word over in it. I want you to think of the word down as the opposite. Now, what do I mean by down? What do I mean? I mean all the downs, besides shutting you down, but breathing down. Breathing down into your body, slowing down your exhale twice as long, calming down your nervous system, getting your body out of fight or flight or freaking out and into more of a, okay, we got this, people, we got this, calm the F down with love. Calming down your body and your nervous system before you do anything is going to help you realize you're not drowning. You're just looking at things too big. To me, I'm looking at all of these hotel rooms and thinking, if I had to clean each one of these and I saw all of them, I wouldn't know what to do. But you know what I would do? And this is the thing. Once you get your body feeling good, I want you to think of these other two downs that are so important. One is writing it down. Now, I don't care how you do this. If I had my, I would have my pad of paper and a pencil or a pen, writing things down. Getting your thoughts out of your head, down from up here, down onto paper so you can see them. What are the things that are overwhelming you? If you name them, you can problem solve them. But if you keep all your thoughts up here, it's going to be like a swirling cauldron of spaghetti. Calming down, slowing down, writing down. And then the opposite of overwhelm is too big. How do you get started? Getting out of overwhelm and into action is you chunk it down. Now, that's not my phrase, but chunks of things, categories. I'm looking at all of these floors. I'm looking at this entire building. I could chunk it down into floors. There are a certain amount of floors, where there's a certain amount of floors, and then each floor has a room, and each room has a bed. And I'll just start with that one little bit. I will make this bed. I will empty that trash can. I will do this tiny little thing. Pay attention to the smallest chunk that you get to, where your body and your brain shift from, I can't do this, this is too much, to, oh, you know what, I can do that. I can do that little bit. And every big bit is made up of a whole bunch of little bits, okay? Now, I know I went deep in there, but I feel it's important because if you are overwhelmed, nothing else is really going to work as easily as it is that you get out of overwhelm and kind of into calming down and all the downs so you get started into action, okay? Hope that helps. Know it will. I do. You know, you are so gentle. You know what? Thank you, little black dog, because that's how I respond. I respond better to a gentle, loving encouragement than a yelling drill sergeant. So I don't show up because that yelling drill sergeant makes me cry. Maybe you're not right now. I'd probably say, oh yeah? I know there's another way to motivate yourself, motivate other people. And being gentle with yourself calms you down like you would do it with a little kid. Little kid's freaking out, a dog is freaking out, you would calm them down. Shh, it's okay, it's okay. Do that to yourself. Treat yourself like a little scared little kid who's freaking out about too much. You know, I knew when I went to this conference that it was important for me to honor how I was feeling and to say, you know what, I'm going to take care of myself. It's not a wrong thing that I cannot hang in this huge group of talking people. I'm going to go and I'm going to meander around. I will get out of my comfort zone a little bit, but then I will also get out of the discomfort and I will go back in and rest my body. That gave me energy to then show up, and I did make some wonderful connections here. Yeah, and yes, little black dog, 100%. This is why I'm a decluttering life coach, because the principles are the same. Calming down and chunking down to move towards a destination you want and enjoying the journey, enjoying what you're doing and why you're doing it makes it more pleasurable, okay? So this is why I do what I do. All right, there we go. All right, yes, Julia's Hope, probably the number 2 thing that people ask about besides paper, and I saw that somebody was talking about paper, is things with memories attached. This is what I call in my hierarchy of clutter. I've got 3 levels. You've got surface clutter. Surface clutter's this table, this counter, you know, the random daily clutter that just clutters up your life. Then you've got stored clutter. Now, stored clutter is either the stuff that's on the surfaces that you put away, or it's the other thing, which is your sentimental clutter. Sentimental clutter, this is what I call it. Sentimental clutter is the stuff that has a story attached to it. Now, if you think about it, notice my hands. I rarely tell you to look at the video when I'm doing a TikTok live. Often, I know people are out decluttering while I get on. It's a bit of a Pavlov's dog response. I show up and they're like, ooh, it's time to declutter. I want you to think of there's a thing and there's a memory. A sentimental item is when they're kind of tied together here. However, because we tied that thing, when it started out, it was just a coffee cup. Then you said, oh, that's the coffee cup that I used to use all the time when I was working, and it reminds me of those, you know. We attach those things, but because we did this, we can also do this to make it so there's just the thing and just the story. Now, when you realize you can do that, then you can ask yourself, am I saving this thing because it's something I want, or am I saving it because it is a cue, it is a reminder of the story? Now, if it's a cue and the reminder of the story, no big deal. Keep the stuff that tells you the good stories. Keep the stuff you want. But the stuff that doesn't tell you the good stories, or maybe the thing is so big, like I'm going to keep this piano because my dad played the piano, but I don't play the piano. Is there a way you can remember that your dad played the piano without keeping the piano in your house? There is a way to keep the story without keeping the item. There are many ways you can do that, but even just noticing that the item and the story are two different things allows you to separate it and say, do I need to keep this vase just because somebody gave it to me? Or can I remember that somebody loved me enough to give me flowers without keeping 80 million clear vases from, FTD? I hope that helps. I know it will. Okay. Quick kind of shameless plug, because I have no shame, because I love what I do. If you dig what I'm doing right now and you haven't followed my TikTok page, please consider following it. I do these TikTok lives. Often they are scheduled. If you go to my TikTok page, Destination Decluttered, you're going to notice that there is a schedule pretty much for the next couple of weeks in April of when I'm going to do these officially. And when I make a promise, I show up. That's something I've gotten really good at, and that's helps me get where I'm going. But occasionally I like to do these pop-up ones too. The pop-up ones gives me the flexibility to be like, you know what, I feel like doing this, and I show up. So you will know about those if you follow my page. I also have an email mailing list if you want to find out before everybody when my TikTok lives are going to be, or how to get coaching, or different free things that I'm doing. DestinationDecluttered.com. That's my website. You can sign up for the mailing list there. Also, lastly and bestly, I think, is on the website. Wake up, but I got up early. DestinationDecluttered.com is where you find out about one-on-one coaching with me. You, me, 10 weeks, 20 weeks, 30 weeks, however long you want to do it, in 10-week increments, one-on-one on Zoom. So I am typically on the East Coast, but I have clients all over the country. So if you're interested in that, the baby step is just to get on the mailing list, really. Okay? What do we go? Okay. Hey, Abigail. We should be friends. Cool. Follow me. I'll follow you. All right. Interesting. Actually, let me back up a little bit. This is what happens when I do this. Just a little bit behind the scenes. I try to always scroll in a nice, calm manner, because then I want to make sure I'm getting the questions in the order in which they were asked. TikTok doesn't play nice with that sometimes. Sometimes I'll try to go like this, and it will immediately go to the most recent one. So if I've missed what you've said, do not take it personally, okay? Little black duck wanting to set fire to everything in your house made of paper. Don't do that. Don't do that. Then you'll worry I need it. Here's a wonderful thing. Notice you're trying to figure out a way to get rid of the too much, and your idea is, well, I'll just burn it down. But then notice you have a thought, what if I need it? Uh-oh, what if I need it? And that what if I need it thought causes you to feel, ah. So then you're like, I can't do that. What can I do? There are different things in between. Okay, yeah. Oh, Erin, thank you so much. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yes, calming down, calming down. It's all good. Nothing is wrong here, people. We're all going through this. We all have totally either known or unknown attachments to stuff, and stuff makes us think things. Okay. The A-team, this is interesting. The A-team is saying, when I have extra time to get started on anything in my home, I can't. I have zero energy to do anything. So this is where a little bit of this coaching that I do, and I think my clients will attest to it, is time management. Now, oh my gosh, if that doesn't sound like a boring topic, but you know what? When you manage your time, you make time for stuff that's important to you. If somebody else is managing your time, you don't have control over it. Having control, I have realized this about myself, so I will share this with you. Having control over what I do and when I do it, and if I do it, to me, that is the richest way of life to have. So even as a starting point, A-team, do not judge yourself. First of all, don't judge, get curious. Remember I talked about overwhelm and down? I also will play with opposites on this side. The opposite of judgment is curiosity. The opposite of fear is love. The opposite of overwhelm, that type of thing. So get curious about where you are spending your time. Do an audit. Oh, even that word sounds boring to me. I hate business words. They make me want to just fall asleep. Get curious about where you're spending your time. Now, some things we don't have control over. Like when I worked my corporate job, I had to be there at a certain hour and I had to leave. Well, technically I didn't have to leave at a certain hour. I had to be there for X amount of time. So some time we don't have control over, but also sometimes there are people in our lives that we give our time to that we can also take back some time for us. Because if you're not giving yourself time, nothing else is working as well as it could be. Taking time for yourself means that you show up better for yourself first, and also you show up better for other people. Okay? Get curious. Get curious about what you're doing, when you're doing it, how we're doing it. Little Black Dog is saying it kind of hurts. Sometimes I save stuff to prove I lived. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I say that because I will share with you guys. I have boxes in my basement. I have one box a year. At the beginning of the year, I take a cute little box, and I've been doing this, I'm not kidding you, for 20 plus years, okay? Probably 25, regardless. I get a cute little box, and it's empty at the beginning of the year. I put the year. I got this idea from being at the Andy Warhol Museum in Pittsburgh. Put the year on it, and anything I want to save that reminds me of the good times of that year, small stuff, not big stuff, small stuff, has to fit in the box. I put in that box. At the end of the year, I have a box of what I call like proof of an awesome life. And I have a shelf, I put it down the basement. I have a bunch of them. It takes up maybe, I don't know, 6 feet by 4 feet. It does not get in the way. And I don't even have to open those boxes to know that each one of them is filled with good vibes of a life well lived. I will share this though. As the years go on, I have fewer and fewer things because I've become less attached to items, and maybe because I'm taking more digital pictures than I did before, like saving. I used to save a lot of paper things, business cards, ticket stubs, things like that. Now so many digital things have decreased the amount. There's absolutely nothing wrong with saving things that remind you of the good times. Okay? There we go. Annalisa, good morning to you too, and congratulations on your new 9 to 5. I am here, don't worry. Yeah, okay. Think about functional freeze, but learn how to get out of it. Learn yourself some skills to get out of freezing. If you're frozen, remember you used to freeze, did you guys play freeze tag when you were a kid? Like, you know, it'd be like, okay, stop. And nobody could touch you. I can't remember the details. If you're feeling frozen, move your body. Do the opposite. Do the opposite. If you're feeling stuck, move your body. Just even realizing you have control over your human body to move things. And even if you just put 2 dishes in the sink and you wash them and dry them and put them away, you have broken the spell of the functional freeze. If you are stuck, there are ways to get unstuck. There are things you can do by yourself. There's things that you and I could do as coach and client. And there's other times when you may need something else to help you. But there is help out there, and you can do something about what's jamming you up. Okay? Yeah, Ms. Crentis, see, I was going to say that reminds me of Andy Warhol's time capsules. I totally got that I got that idea from him. I will say it kind of grossed me out because I saw that, and one of them had like this big oil stain, and it was like he literally would put his like wigs in these boxes. Now, he had a museum. But I only have a basement, so I keep these boxes small. And here's the deal. I save these things not really for anybody else. I'd save them to remind myself, to calm myself down when I think things aren't going my way, that I have evidence of a life well lived, that I have memories. I take photos of stuff I've done, and I look at those things. I have a plan with the stuff that I've kept that I think maybe when I turn 70 or 80, each year when I go to put away a box, I will take out one and I will relive those stories, and maybe I'll share them with somebody. I'll document them somehow, and then I'll probably honestly have a bonfire. Because my stuff only matters to me. As soon as it's somebody else's, it's like the spark goes out of it. Okay? The A-team says, in your sessions, do you help to try to get to the root causes of the clutter? I do, but I will say this. I do this to the extent that I am trained to. I am not a licensed mental health professional. I am a certified life coach, and I have training in decluttering and that type of thing. What I do is we go back to understand where your hang-ups are. We look even in your past. We don't go like, you know, as people often say, like, therapy helps you deal with what happened in the past. We revisit your past to find out where your habits maybe came from, but then we look to the future to say, okay, what can we do about that? We don't try to solve what's in the past, kind of like going to therapy would. However, what you're doing now is usually informed by something that happened in your past. I know this firsthand because my parents, my mom, my dad, I was brought up in a cluttered household. Don't throw this away. We might need it someday. This is good stuff. I'll get to reading that. I'm going to do that, but I'm going to do it later, and then later never comes. Oh crap, people are coming over. Put it in a bag, put it in a box, hide it somewhere. I'll get to it later. I never did. I know that that upbringing caused me to firstly be cluttered and do the exact same things for decades. And the only reason I am showing up like I am right now is because I learned different skills. And that was through work, through trainings, through different random things I picked up. I made the surface look good for a long time, but I was still hiding random things and I wasn't dealing with stuff. It was only when I got some coaching myself that I understood how much a lot of what I did was affected by what's in here and what's in here making me feel a certain way here. Okay? Here's an interesting thing. So Amstakuna is saying, I'm going to donate my cassette tapes. This is hard to give up, but necessary. The interesting thing is, trust me, I'm married to a musician. Both of us came to our relationships with my record collection, his record collection. They're still pretty much separated because we are a Venn diagram, but man, do I like different things than he does. And we also are of an age that we remember records, we remember cassette tapes, we remember a little bit like the 8 tracks, we remember CDs, DVDs, things like that. Now everything's digital. Remind yourself, this is where your cassettes have probably turned from just a way in which you do something, a way in which you listen to music. They become a sentimental item. They become a way of, I remember when I bought this cassette. I remember when I used to put them in my Walkman, and I remember when I used to make mixtapes. My husband and I have been together for so long that part of our courtship was making mixtapes. Now those are tapes we will never get rid of because they are totally sentimental and so specific to us. But you know, having some boxes of cassettes in the basement, it's kind of going through memory lane. Excuse me, I'm gonna cough. Walking down memory lane, as my family likes to call it. Going through your stuff and then just visiting it. Revisit those good memories. Don't just keep them away in a box and then decide, do I need to keep these cassettes to remind myself of them? Even this, do I need to keep all of these cassettes? If you give yourself the opportunity, please, this is not a one and done. I either have all these cassettes or none. How about some? I'm gonna let go of any of the cassettes that are easy for me to get rid of, to rehome, as I've been learning to say this week, and I'm going to keep some others. I'm going to keep a smaller collection that I'm going to go revisit, and I'm going to ask myself, why do I keep this? You know, maybe I can take a picture of the cassette. I can listen to the music on Spotify or whatever, or maybe, do I even have a cassette player, right? So notice these things and do things baby steps at a time. Work with your nervous system. If it makes you feel like you're going to freak out if you do too much, cool, don't freak out, don't do much. Do the bare minimum. What's the bare minimum? What's the lowest, smallest thing you can do to say that's not that bad? Start there. Get some movement. The only time it's really not good is like when you're not doing anything at all. And even sometimes then, you don't feel like doing anything, don't do it. If you don't feel like it, you don't want to do it. But when you're out there saying, I want to go there, but I feel stuck and I'm stuck, that's when it pays to probably to get some coaching and to work through these things. Okay? Jeff Judy. Okay. Okay. Peggy, notice your house is empty and echoes because stuff makes you feel nervous. Everybody I speak to, every single one of us has a different relationship with stuff. The quantity, the quality, the design, the color, the texture, all those things are unique to you. My goal as a human in my own skin is to feel good about what I have and what I do with it and what I buy and what I don't buy and where does it go. That my home is so easy to maintain for me that it brings me delight. Like when I come home from a job, when I come home from traveling, and I open the door and everything's in its right place and everything brings a smile to my face, and I have systems that I just, drop my suitcase, open it up, throw all the stuff in the washing machine. All of those things make my life easier. Better and easier are two words that in my mind when I was taking notes at this conference kept on coming up. What is my definition of better? What is my definition of easier? If it makes you feel good to have an empty, echoey house because stuff makes you nervous, rock on. Yay, you figured it out. I always just get curious about why does stuff make you nervous, you know? But you don't have to be that way. I'm a curious person. That's why I showed up in coaching. I listen without judgment so that people can talk about things. And when you get your thoughts out of your head, sometimes even just out of your mouth, and you hear it, you're like, wait a minute, that makes no sense at all. Or, oh, I never even thought of that. You know? I love this stuff. This is what I do it. That's why I'm here with my freezing cold hands. I got to share with you. It's so nice to be outside after being in conference rooms all week. I got to share with you. Okay? Yeah. Okay. A-Team is bringing up a really good point. Okay? I'm paraphrasing, I was never taught how to organize and declutter. And notice this, I was never taught this skill. And I'm scared I'm repeating the cycle with my kids. Yes, can you imagine? This is when I like to think of that road trip metaphor as learning a skill that you don't know. I didn't learn this because my parents didn't have it. I learned how to be cluttered because my parents, they weren't like, here's what you do, but little pitchers have big ears. Do you remember that? Kids learn from what they see and hear and experience. So you're like, oh, this is how we're supposed to deal with stuff. Oh, okay. All right, this is what you do, because all you know, your life is in your home. And then you get out, you're like, whoa, other people live differently. If you're not taught a skill, how do you expect to know it? How did you learn how to drive a car? Is it something you were born with? No. Is it something you tried to learn by observing people and reading books and maybe watching some videos? Maybe. But until somebody, I'm going to bet you the vast majority of us ended up really learning when somebody who knew what they were doing and knew how to teach it in a way that made you not want to freak out and run. You sat down with somebody who knew what they were doing and knew how to teach it, and they taught you how to drive a car. And they said, yeah, you're going to screw up, you're going to bump, you're going to stall out, no big deal. Just start up again. You know, you learned a skill that you didn't learn before, and then you went and practiced it on your own because you knew that driving a car would open up the world like nobody's business. Now, I will share, I was the most scaredy cat person growing up. I was taught to be fearful and afraid, and that did not serve me well. I didn't get my driver's license, even though now I love to drive, and so many of the things in my life, it's so ironic that so many of the things I do have like that driving motif. I didn't get my driver's license until I was 18 or 19. And I am so glad I did, but I had to learn the skills and I had to practice for myself. I didn't learn how to drive a standard shift car. You kids, you probably don't know what a standard shift car is, until I was in my late 20s and early 30s. And it was tough and I felt frustrated, but I kept on it until it clicked, until it just became something I did. You don't probably even think about when you're driving a car now. I want decluttering and maintaining your home to be that same kind of thing, that it's just something you kind of just do and you don't attach a lot of drama to it, okay? If you haven't learned a skill, you can find out how to teach it. Good morning, German maid. Nice to see you. Yes, what a nice Sunday surprise. I'm glad you think so. I am here for another like 22 minutes or something. I am at a conference for National Association of Professionals, Productivity and Organizing Professionals, because I'm always growing my skills as a coach, as a declutterer, and it's been wicked helpful. But I'm also here in California, and it's East Coast time, and I want to maintain that because I go home in a couple of days, tomorrow maybe. Anyhow, that's why I'm here. Okay. Okay, Triffman Through Life is saying, my daughter and I tackled the garage. Notice the words we use. We tackled it. Okay, it isn't complete, but it's so exciting to go inside now. Yes. Notice that difference. You're not waiting. It's not like I can't enjoy myself till the very end. Enjoy your progress. Every little bit helps. This is a road trip. This is not a commute. Enjoy every little stop along the way, because that enjoyment is going to the fuel you need to continue going on. Okay, so congratulations on that. You know, A-Team is noticing. My sister is one way. You know, you get opposites. You get the Patty Duke show, right? You know, identical cousins. People react differently to different things. And be cool. Yeah, live from a special location. Yes. Okay, now, Island Girl 7137. This comes up a lot. And I first want to say I am so sorry to hear that your husband passed. That is probably one of the most traumatic things that's going to happen in a life, in your life. So my heart goes out to you. I can't even imagine, but my heart goes out to you. My heart goes out to you so much that I want to say to you, do not work on anybody else's timeline except your own. Everybody, work on your own timeline. If you feel like you can't handle it because of the grief and overwhelm, then honor that. And when you feel better, you're going to be ready to start. Don't push yourself, but if you feel like you're at a point where you want to start and it's the sheer volume and you don't know where, start with the easy things. Think of these things as having concentric circles. You're going to have the stuff in the middle. We always think when we're thinking of sentimental things, we're thinking of the stuff that is going to make us feel a feel that we don't want to feel. Sadness and loss and love and all those things at the same time, and crying and scared and all that. So we avoid those things, but there are concentric circles out from that. There's going to be stuff that has less of your husband's energy associated with it. Heck, there may be some stuff of your husband's that you're going to be like, yay, I never liked that shirt anyway. I love you, hun, but I don't like your shirt. So start with the easy things. And know that, everybody, know that when you are dealing, as I mentioned earlier, surface clutter, stored clutter, sentimental clutter, when you are dealing with sentimental clutter, that part of the journey, the road trip, is going to take the most energy and give you the least physical space. You're going to get spent a lot sooner, and the end result may only be like a shoebox full of space and decisions. But know that all of that is good. It's practice showing up of what you do want and what you don't want, okay? And take it at a time that works for you, for your time, for your mental health, for your emotional, physical feeling. But when you feel like you're ready to start, know that you can start. And move at a pace that works for you. All right? All right, what else do we have here? Okay, Finley and Mo is saying, I've been decluttering for years and I never feel like I will finish. Here's what I want to suggest to you. This happens. I coach a lot, so not to be like, I know what I'm talking about, but this comes up a lot. I want you to think of this. Maybe this makes you think of decluttering in a slightly different way that you've never thought of before. Many of us think of decluttering like weight loss in a really goofy way. In the fact that we think, I've got all this stuff. Pretend this is a pile of stuff that's accumulated over a certain amount of time. Decluttering to us often means decreasing the amount of that stuff. I need to get rid of my clutter. And once I get down to here, I'll be done. Kind of like weight loss, people. No, we've only just begun. What you need to do is realize that you also probably have some habits, okay? Finally, and Mo, you've got some habits? You've got some habits probably on the daily, on the hourly, that are probably causing you to clutter up again. So you're decreasing this, but it's like I'm on a diet until I'm not on a diet. Like I'm on a diet and then I don't do the things. I go off my diet, whatever. Get curious about what you do daily. Don't judge yourself. But get curious about how does your home get recluttered? It's habits. And habits can be changed. A habit is a habit. You're in the habit of throwing your clothes on the floor. You're in the habit of letting things pile up on a table for a certain amount of time. You're in the habit of fill in the blank. You can change your habits. But you can't change them unless you're aware that you actually have them. And many of us we don't even realize we're doing what we're doing, myself included. Aw, your dad taught you how to drive. That's awesome. Yeah, bad habits like laying things down where they don't belong. Yeah. And they're not bad habits. I don't like to be judgy. Bad habits. No, we have habits. Think of them this way. You have a habit. It's just a thing you do. And it does one of two things. It either gets you to the life you want, or it keeps you in a life that you don't want. I don't want to be cluttered, so I do this thing. But when I do this, when I change that habit, my life is less cluttered. That's what I want. Therefore, I get it. It's not good or bad. It's just different. But it also gets you in the direction you want to go to. Okay? Okay. Yeah, my house was flooded. Mama Pepper saying, my house was flooded. Oh, that sucks, hon. That does. Here's an interesting thing I want to share with you, though. Sometimes people hope for that. Oh, I wish I could burn it all down. Didn't somebody just say that up thread? That is a short-term solution. Be very mindful of what you put back in your home. Yeah. Be mindful of what kind of home do you want. That's why I call my coaching destination decluttered. So before you start to fill your home up, ask yourself these 3 questions. And everybody, ask yourself this. I ask the question so you can ask yourself. And then I want you to answer it internally, even better if you write it down. What do I want my home to look like? Now that's usually where we think it begins and ends. What does it look like? So you have some ideas. I want it to look like this. I want this room to look like that. I want this color, this texture, this style, this quantity of items, this quality of items. You've got all the looky part, right? These are the 2 things that I like to go the next level deeper, because I like to go and get a little bit deeper. How do you want to feel in your home? When you walk around your home, when you walk into your home and you're around it, how do you want your home to help you feel? Now, that can be a weird question to ask everybody. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know. Okay, I can help you with that. Here's the trick. When you're walking around your house, are you feeling some like not so great feels? Okay, write those ones down, right? Write down the ones, I feel heavy, I feel discouraged, I feel angry, I feel overwhelmed, I feel bad about myself, I feel mad at my husband, whatever it is, write that down, then make a line, draw a line. Here's all the unhelpful stuff. What's the opposite feeling? I don't want to feel angry, I want to feel peaceful. I don't want to be mad at my husband, I want to love my husband. I want to feel the opposite. How do I want to feel when I'm in my home? Because your home is making you feel a feeling, and when you feel a feeling, you do a thing. If you feel good, you're going to do something beneficial to yourself. If you don't feel so good, you may not do something. So notice that context. How does it look? How does it feel? And then also the last one is kind of the functionality. It's like the head, the heart, and the hands. How do I want it to function? Now, how does it function means I want to be easily able to grab the stuff I use it, and then easily put it away. Easy, easy, easy. That's what I think. Write those things down for you, and that's your destination. That's what you're aiming for. How do I get there? 2 things. I decrease the amount of stuff in my home, and I change my habits. Boom, done. I can go now. My work is done. So easy to say, but a little bit more of a journey to get there. But I'm just showing you that there's a plan behind this. Okay. M. Levy is saying, how do I get my boys to participate in decluttering? It's all on me right now. If it's all on you, I love playing with the opposites. If it's all on you, take a load off Annie and put the load right on me. Take some of the load off you and give it to your boys. It is a life skill to declutter. Decluttering is being responsible for your own shit, your own stuff. Pardon me, I occasionally drop the bomb. And also taking care of your own stuff and realizing that you are part of a community, that you are taking up your responsibility. And it shouldn't fall on one person to do it all. And if that happens to be the current model, you can change that. Now, as women, we tend to be the one that the burden falls onto. Let's change that narrative and share the burden. Because it is not setting your boys up to be good human beings outside of the home if they haven't learned the skills of decluttering. When they go to live on their own, when they have roommates, when they're in a dorm, when they get married, when they're living with somebody, when they're by themselves, if somebody else has always done it for you, you don't know how to do it for yourself, and then you're stuck. It's perpetuating a generational cycle. So it is really good in a lot of ways to do this. Now, oh my God, of course they're going to bitch and moan about it because they're used to somebody doing it for you. It's like weaning a child. It's like, no, here, just do it for me. I don't want to do it. We're lazy humans. However, we know that it's so much better when we become that kind of self-sufficient. Okay? A-Team, I really like your energy. You radiate good vibes. Thank you. And I shaved. I showered this morning, too. Where do we sign up? Easy, wicked peasy. 2 things. If you're interested in what I'm doing, just follow my TikTok page here, Destination Decluttered. And then also, if you want to take the next step, is as easy as getting on my mailing list, the email mailing list. Trust me, I do not inundate you with these like automated emails. Every single email I send out is from me to you. I read it, I write it, I say, I've got some good stuff I want to share. I share it with you. Usually the people on the mailing list get the destinationDecluttered.com/join mailing list. Just get the first dibs on all the cool stuff that I do. I experiment with new products and I say, hey, I'm thinking of this. Would you like a sticker? I'm thinking of doing a seminar. Would you like to be part of this? And then the one paid thing that I do is my paid one-on-one coaching. I really enjoy that, so that's where I put most of my effort. Knowing that I learned some things at this seminar, I may rejigger some things to get some additional streams of income coming in. But right now, most of what I offer, with the exception of my paid coaching, is free. Now, that's not to say that might not change in the future. I'm going to experiment with that. But right now, there's TikTok videos, all sorts of things you can do. So destinationdeclutter.com. Hope that helps. Okay. All righty. Here we go. 8:50, I get 10 minutes, and my hands is freezing. Oops. Jess is saying, how do I determine what to sell, donate, and throw away? In your head and in your heart. Actually, the sell thing is going to be pretty easy. That goes externally. Go use the internet. See if what you have is worth money to anybody. And if it is, how much money is that? And if it is, and how much money is that worth your time? Do you want to spend that amount of time to make that kind of money? What's your hourly rate? Okay. Yeah. You determine what you want and how you want to rehome it. I'm trying to get better. I learned this from somebody. I wish I could remember who it was. Somebody I was chatting with. I think it was from like the San Francisco chapter. And she introduced this phrase, rehoming. How do you want to get the stuff that you don't want out of your home and closer to somebody else's home? Rehoming it. And giving it away, selling it, donating it. There's many ways you can do it. You get to decide, and I always like to say, what's the easiest way? Because the sooner you remove those items, the sooner you're just living in the life you want. The longer it takes for you to remove things, the longer you're sitting in the clutter. The sooner, the easier, the better. That's how I think of it. Okay? WCS dancer Nicole is saying, can't tell you how many times I've looked at one of my pals and said, I'll tackle that later. And then later never comes, does it? Because there's a fear, there's an overwhelm, there's a ugh. You put the ugh right there. I love helping people take the trauma and the sting out of whatever the pile of paper is. I have been afraid of paper myself. I still get mail, and it's like, oh, that looks official. Am I in trouble? Do I owe somebody money? Like, what's the deal? I have practiced taking the sting out of it by opening up my mail and being like, oh, geez, it's just a freaking credit card offer. Don't be so afraid, Okay, Vonda, I'm creative. I'm creative too. So I sew in fabric and things are laying around, but it's not fun. Okay, how about cleaning up after yourself, factoring in some time so that what you're doing when you are here, think about this, everybody, not just with your craft supplies, but think about when you are cleaning up after yourself after you've done something, you are being a really nice person to future you. Think about it. When you clean up the kitchen and before you go to bed and everything's in its right place, you're doing that for you because in the morning when you wake up and you go to make your tea or your coffee, there it is. Oh, isn't this nice? So Vonda, taking some time and saying it's not a big deal, let me start, wind down my creative project 15 minutes sooner so that I can put things away. And check this out. So I know where to find them. That when I go to start this project, it's going to be easier functionality. I know where that fabric is, I know where my scissors are, I know where my pins are, and I can easily start this thing that I enjoy, which is my craft. Okay? So notice that you are benefiting yourself when you're doing this. I'm going to do a TikTok live or a video. I'm not going to do it now because, things are crazy. But when I get home and I'm doing some of my recorded videos, one of the ones I'm going to share this with you, I'm going to do is, and I want you to think of this now, even before I do that video, decluttering. Boom, boom. What's in it for me? What's in it for me? We don't do things we don't want to do, right? When we don't want to do them, this is where coaching comes, and you get curious, why don't you want to do it? But even ask yourself, what's in it for me? Why do I want to declutter? And if you don't see anything in it for you, it's going to be really hard to get yourself motivated. I don't see why I'm doing this. Maybe this is just the way I'm wired, but I don't see why I'm doing this. Why am I doing this? This makes no sense to me. I'm not going to do it if it doesn't make sense to me. If it makes sense to me, if there's something in it for me, oh, you mean I'm going to know where my scissors are? Oh, you mean I can immediately just grab my clothes and put them on so I can go and do something fun? Oh, suddenly there's something in it for me. I will be more likely to do something when there's something in it for me. How about you? Find what's in it for you. Do it for you. Make your life better for you And that'll motivate you a little bit to get it going, right? There we go. Bag by bag, inch by inch, life's a cinch. Yard by yard. What was it? I read this on one of those trivets you see in like the ticky-tacky, like Lancaster County or anywhere, like those souvenirs. Yard by yard, life is hard. By inch, life's a cinch. Chunk it down. Bag by bag, I'm moving things, I'm rehoming things. See, there you go. A calm, organized home. Notice how MJAR007 said, calm. You know why you want to do it? I want to feel calm. I want to look at my house and I want to feel calm. We are doing this for a feeling. And I will share this with you. This kind of blew my mind. We have the destination. The destination, it just keeps us focused. But when you think of this as a journey, I don't like to use that word, but a road trip. I prefer road trip. Every day you show up and you do something towards that destination, check out this, it's kind of mind-blowing. You're feeling that feeling of being there before you even get there. You're like, yeah, this is good. Feeling good today. Feeling 7 up, I'm feeling 7 up. Every day, you know. How can you feel good today? How can you say, okay, if the clutter is making me feel like crap, I'm going to do something about the clutter. Make yourself feel good along the way. That's the beauty of it, living a life well lived. And how many people have shown up saying, I'm doing this decluttering and it feels good. They're not like, oh, crazy, it sucks, it's horrible, it's going to be pain, pain, pain until I get there and then delay. Yeah. The way I do it anyway is have fun along the way. Move it, declutter. The quantity of decluttering you do, when you do it, how you do it, it's all up to you. Do it in a way that feels good to you, and it'll feel good, and you'll show up more to do it. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, that's how you manifest. Have the vision and work hard for it. How about this? Do you have to work hard for it? Because when you're going through your clothes, you're going to be finding stuff. You're going to be digging it. Oh, I forgot I even had this sweater. Check it out. I found a $20 bill in the pocket of this pants. You know what? I'd never liked those pants anyway. Those pants, I'm going to rehome to somebody else. You're having fun along the way. That isn't hard work. That is fun work. When you think of it as hard work, it's going to feel like work, and it's going to feel hard. So don't think of it as work at all. Think of it as a discovery. What am I going to find out? What am I going to find out about myself? What am I going to discover? I'm going to discover why I kept this stuff. Have fun with it. Make it playful. Don't make it work. If it's going to be work, you're not going to show up for it. Have some fun, okay? Have some fun and get it done is kind of my little snappy thing, but that's what I believe, is that let's make it fun. If it isn't fun, how can we make it a little less worky and a little bit more fun? Put on some music, dance around, have a fashion show, pitch the stuff you hate with delight into the trash. Congratulate yourself on your wins. Feel good about you doing something to make your life and your home feel better. There we go. GGX 2000 is manifesting a capsule wardrobe and minimum look. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, I showed up pretty much every single day. I've showed up in, thank God I did bring my East Coast clothes because it's been chilly here. So I've been showing up in my capsule wardrobe. As you know, anybody who knows me, I'm always showing up in just black, black, black. It keeps it simple. I don't want to have to think about what I'm wearing because I don't really care about fashion like that. I have certain things I do, but I like to keep it simple so I can focus on the things that are more important to me. Okay. Okay, so memo of 3 cool kids. I love it. Thanks to your help, I've been able to tackle a bedroom. I've been trying to declutter for 8 years. Yeah. Trying is working, but you know what? When it isn't working, when what you're doing isn't working for you, know that there is another way to approach it, and maybe you just don't know it yet. Maybe you just don't have the skill. It's like trying to do something, and somebody, I don't know why I'm not moving forward, and it's me, I'm like, oh, guess what? No big deal, but you've got the parking brake on. You're trying to move forward, but your parking brake is on. I help you say, oh, okay, so next time you're going to check for the parking brake, and then you're going to move forward. Okay? Now, speaking of moving forward, I have been here for the last hour or so, and my hands are freezing. I'm going to go inside to the hotel conference. I'm going to get myself a cup of tea. I'm going to warm up my hands. I'm going to have some fun later. I hope you found this helpful. This is why I show up. If it's not helpful for you, I'm not going to show up on a freezing cold morning. I'm going to be on the other side. I'm going to be in my nice warm bed scrolling on TikTok. So I hope you found this helpful. And I want to leave you with this. Just notice how a different voice in your head, a voice of kindness, an encouragement, you got this, you're worth it, you can do it, can make you feel different about what you're doing. And I don't say this to be like, let it be my voice. No, I want to help you uncover that voice in your own head. Walking around to say, I can do this. Now, if you need to use my wacky voice temporarily, by all means, go for it. But I want you to start cultivating what I call your kind of voice. You can do this. If your clutter is bumming you out, it's just stuff, people. It's just stuff. You can do something about it, okay? I am here to help you with that when you're stuck. When you don't know what to do, we can work together to help you know what to do. So this sounds cool. I will just sign off. My name is Beth. Destination Decluttered is my coaching. If you like what you're hearing, please follow my TikTok page. I will be going home after this conference, and I will be doing more scheduled TikTok lives. You'll see them. It's posted right at the top of my TikTok page, pinned there. But also, I do one-on-one coaching. My paid coaching, one-on-one, you and me, for a 10-week package, or another 10-week package, or another 10-week package. I offer that. I love doing the one-on-one stuff because that's just it's like a shortcut to get you where you want to go. But if you're not sure about that, baby steps it. Sign up for the mailing list. It's very casual. We do a monthly Zoom that's free. Maybe I'll change that at some point. But for right now, all the stuff I offer from my mailing list is free. I might change that model. We'll see. For now, get on it free. And if I can help you, that's what I'm here for, okay? You got this. You can do it. Let's have fun. And let's get it done, all right? I'll see you from the East Coast in a couple days, all right? Bye.